Yeah, school's good. Well, my roommate is Brian Cox.
Oh.
I think he's just here for the access to Uber One for students.
My name is Brian. My interests are food.
Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour. Short of manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. But most importantly, guys, hit the like button and share this with a couple friends, because sharing is caring at the end of the day. Guys, we got a great show for you lined up today, and we're going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. AR12, ARA. Either way, Aaron freaking Rodgers. Where's he going to end up? And then we got to talk about them Dallas Cowboys. How about them boys? They got the new running backs. Are they them? Are the running backs about to make some noise up there in Dallas in the Big D? We'll talk about that. And and then the New York Football Giants. They got the number 3 overall pick. Should they draft Shedeur Sanders? We'll talk about that. Roddy Stanley goes back to the Baltimore Ravens. Are they really a Super Bowl bound team? And then we got Overreaction Tuesday on a Wednesday. But we're going to talk about this free agent wide receiver class. We're going to talk about the best duo in the NFL. And then, of course, we're going to wrap the show up with a little bit of fact. And then a little bit of crap. We're going to talk about Cooper Kupp. We're going to talk about Kirk Cousin. And we're going to talk about Juju Smith-Schuster going back to them Kansas City Chiefs. So, guys, we got that and a hell of a lot more today. But this is a live interactive show. Be sure to interact with us, as I do see each and every comment. But first.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL free agency period is kind of starting to die down a little bit. The free agent period frenzy is kind of like, hey, slow it down, baby. All of the big names have kind of been signed. A lot of the big names have gone to new teams. All those big names are out there experiencing new teams and aspirations as of right now. Now, there are players out there like Stephon Diggs that is still looking for a job. Stephon Diggs has struck out with many teams, but now the New England Patriots are like, hey, Stephon Diggs, come on over. You are the next occasion of we're going to pick up somebody that's mediocre. Guys, if your team is picking up players right now in free agency, it's because these players are really not highly sought after players. Let's be flat out honest. Stephon Diggs is not a very highly sought out NFL player. Yes, he had his heyday in Minnesota. Yes, he had his heyday in beautiful Buffalo, New York. He had a good, 8 games down there in Houston Texans. But there's a reason why the Houston Texans, the minute they traded for him, they restructured his 3-year deal left that he had with the Buffalo Bills, made it onto 1 year and said, prove it to us and then get out of town. Guys, Stephon Diggs seems like he's a cancer for every team that he goes to. Whether it's the Minnesota Vikings, whether it's the Buffalo Bills, whether it's the Houston Texans. Hell, if he goes to the New England Patriots, like many people are speculating, getting hyped about, he is going to be a cancer in New England as well. Foxborough, Massachusetts, whatever you want to call it. Guys, you slow it down, baby. Stephon Diggs is a receiver that has all the potential in the world. Stephon Diggs is a receiver that could be easily a top 10 receiver in the NFL. However, winning doesn't help him. Losing doesn't help him. I don't know. Whatever it is, he has this big old ego on his shoulders, and he gets upset over the silliest things. Guys, Stephon Diggs, I like him. He has potential. But New England Patriots fans, y'all need to simmer down now. You hear? He is going to destroy that locker room. He is going to destroy Drake May. He is going to destroy any reminiscence of a good offseason that you've already had. New England Patriots, pass on Stephon Diggs. Cue that intro.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you're ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL talk. Let's go.
What is up, Man Hour Nation? What is up, guys? We do have a great show for a lot of it today. Before we get too carried away, we gotta welcome some people in the chat. We gotta welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the pigskin pundit himself. I need to turn that thing up, but Old Man River says, what is up, Man Hour Nation? It is windy up here in the mitten. Man, it's down here in the old Indiana as well, but hey, you gotta go, you gotta struggle through it. You got to go through struggle. And Old Man River says, look, Stephon Diggs is great, but he is a locker room cancer. Old Man River, you are spot on. You are spot on. And we got Robbie back in the chat today. What's up, Robbie? And Robbie says, I hope that the Pittsburgh Steelers tell Aaron Rodgers to kick rocks and he retires. Robbie, you might get your wish today, buddy, because that is exactly where we are going to start to show off today. Robbie says, I hope the Pittsburgh Steelers tell Aaron Rodgers to kick rocks and he needs to retire. So, Robbie, you are not the only one that says, hey, Aaron Rodgers, it is time to shit or get off the pot time. Robbie, you are not the only person out there saying, hey, Aaron Rodgers, we're tired of you being in the media. We're tired of you not making a direct decision of what you're going to do. Guys, Cam Heyward, Pittsburgh Steelers legend himself, just went off on Aaron Rodgers. Now, you can say, oh, he was just speaking his mind. No. The man was speaking from the heart, and he is pissed off that Aaron Rodgers is even remotely thinking about dragging the Pittsburgh Steelers through the mud right now. But Cam Heyward, guys, goes off on the Not Just Football podcast and spoke about Aaron Rodgers. And he said very, very plainly, and I quote, Aaron Rodgers, you are either with us or you're not. Either you want to be a Steeler or you don't. It's that simple. That is my pitch. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do that. Either come to Pittsburgh or stay your ass somewhere else. Guys, is Cam Heyward right? Is Cam Heyward right to put a statute of limitation on Aaron Rodgers saying, hey, we need to know right now? Basically, that's what it comes down to, is we need to know right now. We are a month away from the NFL draft, and we want to know right now. And I'm going to tell Cam Heyward, slow it down, baby. Cam Heyward, you are right for speaking out about Aaron Rodgers. You are right about, saying, hey, either you're with us or you're not. It's kind of basically he's saying it's shit or get off the pot time. No more prairie dogging, pushing out that big old tuba turd down the toilet right now. But guys, if you look at Aaron Rodgers, stat-wise, 100% stat-wise, don't use your eye test. Act like you never watched a game for the New York Jets last season. Strictly based off of stats, Aaron Rodgers was a top 10 quarterback in 2024. And that is what a lot of people that are Aaron Rodgers fans are going to tell you, that he had top 10 stats in 2024. But as you guys know, we do the eye test over here at Man Hour. We do a little thing called we watch the football games. We do a little thing of like, hey, you know what? Stats lie to you. And if you use your eyes, Aaron Rodgers was a bottom tier quarterback in the NFL last season. He was 20th and below, easily in 2024. On the other hand, the Pittsburgh Steelers currently only have two quarterbacks on the roster. They have Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph currently on the roster. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed Skylar Thompson after he was released by the Miami Dolphins after the regular season and signed him to a future contract, a.k.a. a camp invite, basically what it comes down to. In 2024, Skylar Thompson played just in 3 games, and he was 21 for 33 for 187 yards total passing with a QBR of 3.9. He did not play in 2021 and 23, and in 2022, he did have a pretty decent year when he came in and actually ended up leading the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs when Tua did go down. Mason Rudolph did play in 8 games for the Tennessee Titans in 2024. He threw for just over 1,500 yards and a QBR of 55.5. The QB free agent guys market is very, very dry. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, and Trey Lance are, quote, the only big names left off on the board. And the opening rant was about a dry free agent market as is. And if a name is out there right now, you probably don't want that guy, a.k.a. Stephon Diggs. Guys, the Steelers could still make a trade for the Falcons to bring in Kirk Cousins, but that is a story for another day. Let's slow it down, baby. We are exactly a month away from the NFL draft, and the Pittsburgh Steelers do hold the 21st overall pick. And then they hold a 3rd round pick, which is 19th overall in that 3rd round. So Cam Heyward, I am with you, but I'm not with you at the same time. I am with you because we are tired of hearing about Aaron Rodgers. We are tired of not knowing what direction the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take, right? Because you are right, Cam Heyward. I understand what you're saying. I am reading between your lines here. Guys, Cam Heyward is saying, listen, Aaron Rodgers, we are a month away from the draft. We have a Super Bowl caliber team. We have a defense. We have an offense. All we're missing is above average quarterback play. Same thing as last season. All we're missing is above average quarterback play. Now, are you going to be that above average quarterback? Or are you going to sit back and I don't know what to do with my hands? Because I can tell you, in the next 2 weeks, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be like, you know what? Aaron Rodgers isn't here. It is time for us to move on. We need to start focusing about potentially moving up in the draft to get a quarterback. Because about this time last week, 2 weeks ago, Jackson Dart could have easily fell to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21st overall pick. Now, many people are speculating him to be a top 10 pick now. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers need to move up and get a quarterback? Do they need to trade for a quarterback? All that needs to be figured out in the next week. So, guys, Cam Heyward said, and I quote, either you want to be a Steeler or you don't. That's simple. That's the pitch. It's that simple. Guys, is Cam Heyward right? Does Aaron Rodgers need to stop playing this media game? Does Aaron Rodgers need to stop trying to, be a limelight center of attention for another offseason? Cam Heyward, I am with you to an extent. I am with you that, yes, we do need to figure out what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. I am with you because, yes, we do need to understand that Aaron Rodgers wants to be a quarterback or he doesn't. He wants to play or he doesn't. At the same time, you do not want to push the future Hall of Famer away. You do not want to get underneath that skin to push him away because who else free agency wise do you guys got? Russell Wilson, you going to bring him back? Are you going to bring in the bust Trey Lance? Are you going to spend a 1st round pick on Kirk Cousins that could potentially be a no-go? Let's just be honest. So what do you guys think? Is Cam Heyward right? Jump over to the chat here. Old Man River says, but he's worth the money in Minnesota. Those receivers have a good line and a decent running back. Old Man River, you are exactly right. Aaron Rodgers would be perfect in Minnesota. However, the Minnesota Vikings says, no, thanks, but no thanks, right? We're sticking with J.J. McCarthy. They've actually turned down calls about potential trades for J.J. McCarthy. Now, yes, we spoke about this on Monday, that Justin Jefferson and that Jordan Addison are potentially the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. We're going to talk about that in overreaction. But at the same time, the Pittsburgh Steelers now suddenly have a pretty good wide receiver duo as well. They have DK Metcalf and they have George Pickens, which George Pickens is on a contract year. He wants to ball out. They have Jaylen Warren, Pretty damn good running back. Should have been running back number 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers last season, but they had Najee Harris still. Najee Harris is now with the LA Chargers, if I'm not mistaken. Give Jalen Warren a chance to get the ball, and they'll be all right. The one thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers have better than the Minnesota Vikings is the defense. The defense is pretty damn good on the Pittsburgh side of the ball. I'm not saying Minnesota Vikings defense sucks, but Pittsburgh Steelers defense is better. Minnesota Vikings do have the better coaching staff, though, and system, however. So I get what you're saying, but I agree, but I don't agree. Let me waffle around that answer. Give me a hashtag waffle in the chat below, guys. We need to get those shirts made. Old Man River says, from diva to the bar, cougar. What? Ay. Whatever that's supposed to mean. It must be an old man joke. My man Alpha Rob's in the chat. What's up, Alpha Rob?
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Alpha Rob says Aaron Rodgers should go to the NFC because in the AFC he has no chance. Alpha Rob, I see what you're saying. The AFC is very, very dominant, top heavy, right? You have your Buffalo Bills, you have your Baltimore Ravens, you have your Kansas City Chiefs, and you could potentially slide the Cincinnati Bengals up there, but that's a story for a different day. But we definitely have 4 top-tier teams, whether you put the Bengals up there or the Houston Texans. Either way, there's 4 dominant teams in the AFC. On the NFC side of things, though, I think it's a little bit more spread out. And I think that makes that tougher, right? I think that makes that tougher because it is going to be very, very difficult to get out of the first round of the NFC playoffs. Look at the Minnesota Vikings last season. Very, very hard for them to get past the LA Rams. Nobody thought the LA Rams were going to be shit last year, and look what happens. They went and played the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round, right? Beat the Vikings in a neutral site. Let's just be honest. Even though the Vikings were, 15-2, 14-3, whatever they were, no slouch of a regular season, they got blown out. In the AFC, it might be a little bit easier, especially if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, to get out of that first round. Because you do have a very good potential to win that division. And if you win that division, you might play a team like the Denver Broncos, like the LA Chargers, like potentially the Miami Dolphins. All very, very winnable games in the first round. And that would be a success in Pittsburgh. Getting out of the first round is considered successful in Pittsburgh. Hell, making it to the playoffs is successful in Pittsburgh. Hell, getting 9 wins is successful in Pittsburgh. Minnesota, they're expecting to win the Super Bowl this season. Alpha Rob says, but in Pittsburgh, Tomlin is guaranteed 9 to 10 wins. You are right, Alpha Rob. And I said this, it was actually on a different show, so I guessed on a show earlier today. And I said on that show, it was a Minnesota Vikings show there. I will post a link for the people over there on Twitter. You guys are following me on Twitter, manhour_Buck. We are part of the Believe Network. I was on a Believe in the Vikings show there. And I said that Aaron Rodgers makes the Minnesota Vikings the best team in the NFC. And then I put a caveat on that. And then I said without Aaron Rodgers, the Minnesota Vikings are 12th best team in the NFC. Guys, that is how good or how bad the Minnesota Vikings can be in 2025. I think Aaron Rodgers still has a little bit left in the tank. I think Aaron Rodgers can definitely catapult them to the moon, meaning the Minnesota Vikings. With the Pittsburgh Steelers, definitely a playoff team. Definitely a first-round win. Second-round win, third, that would be tough. Let's not get crazy. I got a little crazy last year, and I got ego checked. All Pennsylvania Pittsburgh, or all Pennsylvania Super Bowl, right? Got a little bit checked. Jim Pal in the sky. He's a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Jim is the CEO of the pigskin pundits, guys. Be like Jim, click on the membership tab below. Get behind the scenes footage, get some free merch and a lot of other things. He says Bill Belichick equals Aaron Rodgers. Does that mean the greatest of all time, the best coach ever, or the second best coach? Like, Jim, I need you to put a little bit more context into that. So are you saying that Aaron Rodgers needs help around him to be successful? Or does Aaron Rodgers bring the success with him? That's the question, because is it like the old outage says, was it Tom Brady or was it Bill Belichick? Is it Aaron Rodgers or was it Mike McCarthy or Matt LaFleur, right? Like, that's That's tough. Old Man River says, whoa. Philly, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota. Come on, NFC. They're their own powerhouse. Old Man River, I'm not saying the NFC is not bad. I am saying the NFC is more balanced across the thing. Yes, you do have a outlier team, meaning the Philadelphia Eagles. But from 2 on, you can mismatch any team out there, and I would not be mad. Meaning the Green Bay Packers, meaning the Minnesota Vikings, meaning the Detroit Lions, Washington Commanders. Let's not sleep on the LA Rams. The San Francisco 49ers could come back right there. 6 teams that you can place anywhere from 2 to 7, and that's a tough game, right? That is tough. So let's just don't be trying to put words into my mouth. I know you like try to put other things in my mouth, but that doesn't work. I say no small things in there today. Jim Powell says he could go to Jacksonville, and they have the exact same season Trevor Lawrence has. Jim, when we speak on the Jacksonville Jaguars in depth come in June and July, when they really start breaking down their schedule and their draft and all that stuff, I'm going to tell you one thing. The Jacksonville Jaguars offseason was great. Now, it has been overshadowed by the Bears offseason. It's been overshadowed by the New England Patriots offseason. It's been overshadowed by some of the big trades. Deebo Samuels to the Commanders, DK Metcalf to the Steelers, right? But the Jaguars sneakily got a lot better. They trimmed off all that fat. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, right? Got rid of that fat, got rid of those big contracts, and they brought in some players that fit their system. The Jaguars could be pretty decent in 2025 and could win the AFC South. We'll be talking about that more in depth later, but slow it down, Buck, slow it down. And Jim says the Belichick equals Rodgers, meaning that nobody wants them. So Jim is saying that Belichick is not wanted. Aaron Rodgers is not wanted. And so get out of town. Get out of town, because we don't want you no more, baby. And Jim says it is raining sideways right now, Buck. So, guys, if you guys are unaware, here in Indiana, Kentucky, up through Michigan, we are experiencing some tornadoes right now. There was just a tornado in E-Town, if you guys know where E-Town's at. We are experiencing that. So, Jim, I just pulled up the weather here in my town, WDRB, Fox here. We are in a severe thunderstorm warning. Nothing too crazy yet, but I will keep an eye on that. So thank you for that heads up. So, Jim, John, you guys are my resident pigs and pundits here tonight. If you happen to see a tornado warning in the Louisville, Kentucky area, please let me know, because I got the headphones on. They're noise canceling. I won't be able to hear anything. And my doggies need protected. But thank you guys for that. Thank you. I appreciate everything that you guys do. And there's a ladybug in here. Sweet. Ladybugs. All right, guys. So moving on. Let's talk about those Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Because damn it, the Cowboys are making big freaking moves this offseason, baby. They have been busy this offseason. As you guys know, I am a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. No, guys. All jokes aside, the Dallas Cowboys have done shit this offseason. The Dallas Cowboys' big signing was Turpin. 3 years, like $30 million, whatever it was. Like, oh, the Turpin, baby. I was like, slow it down. But after they signed Turpin, they did pick up a couple free agents that were out there. One of them being Javonte Williams from the Denver Broncos, and then Miles Sanders from the Carolina Panthers, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles. Javonte Williams had wasted no time to come out and say that the sky is the limit for this revamped Dallas Cowboys running back room. And I got to sit back and I got to thinking, man, Williams, I want to get off the hype train for the Dallas Cowboys. I want to stop talking about the Dallas Cowboys, but every time you guys open your mouth, it is must talk about TV. So guys, with the addition of Javonte Williams from the Denver Broncos and Miles Sanders from the Carolina Panthers, Will the Dallas Cowboys be great on the rushing side of the ball in 2025? Will they have a reamped and sky is the limit running back room? Is he right? As I started to compose myself, I was on the floor laughing. I was on the floor like, dude, you've been a Dallas Cowboy for 3 hours and you're already talking out your ass. You need to stop hanging out with like Micah Parsons. But I'm like, okay, Buck, slow it down. I said, slow it down. Maybe he is onto something. Maybe, just maybe, he can reamp that Dallas Cowboys room. So I went and got back to looking at the Dallas Cowboys stats from last year for 2024. Guys, the Dallas Cowboys averaged 100.3 yards rushing last season. Hey, 100 yards a game, not too bad, right? Except for it is. That was 27th in the NFL. The teams that were worse than them were the Seahawks when they're on the 4th-string running back, the Cleveland Browns when they don't even know which way to poop, right? The Bengals, yes, they were decent thanks to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and a little bit of Joe Burrow, no thanks to that running game, right? And then the Jets and the Raiders, all of which none of them were playoff teams. Now, Javonte Williams did have a okay season in 2024. He rushed for 513 yards in the regular season. He did play all 17 games. He did rush for 29 yards in the postseason. Blow me away with that 500-yard season, baby. That was 57th in the NFL, I might add. He is entering his 5th year in the NFL. He had a promising rookie season, 903 yards, and then he went to 204 yards his sophomore season. And then his junior season, he followed with 774 yards. And, of course, he had the 513-yard season this year. Miles Sanders, right? He played 11 games for the Carolina Panthers last season. He rushed for 205 yards. 205. Not in a game, not in 2 games, not in the month of October, all 11 games that he played. 205 yards. He has not played one full season since 2022, and that was with the Philadelphia Eagles, in which he did rush for 1,200 yards. 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns that particular season. The following season, he joined the Carolina Panthers, got those dollar bills, y'all, and he rushed for 432 yards with 1 touchdown. So when you look at the 513 yards and then the 205 yards from those 2 guys respectively, right? Williams averages 30 yards per game. Miles Sanders averages 18 yards per game. Simple math, 30 plus 18 is 48 yards per game between those 2 guys from last season. That is not 100 yards rushing. That is not a reamped running back room. That is the worst running back room in the NFL. 48 yards per game between those 2 guys. So, guys, the question is simple. With the addition of Javonte Williams, with the addition of Miles Sanders, along with my man Deuce Vaughn from the Kansas State University, do the Dallas Cowboys have a reamped and sky is the limit running back room? I'm going to point this as plain as simple as I can. No. No. Now, Javonte Williams has the potential to be the number 1 guy. He has the potential to have a 1,000-yard season. He has the potential. I have not seen him do it yet. There's a reason why the Denver Broncos let him walk. There's a reason why the Carolina Panthers let Miles Sanders walk. Actually, I think they traded for him. But those 2 guys averaged 48 yards total for 2024 NFL season. Guys, the simple answer is no. This is not an improvement. This is not an improvement. So guys, what do you think? Did the Dallas Cowboys running back room get better? John Cunningham is in the chat today. He is a Detroit Lions fan. What's up, John? He says, I'm not the only one full of jokes today, huh? John, you are right. You are not the only one full of jokes. The minute when I heard Javonte Williams say that, or I read him say that, I didn't hear him say that, I read him say that, I was like, oh, what? What? Now, maybe, with the new head coach, Marty Schottenheimer, so what's his name? Brian Schottenheimer. Maybe there'll be a 60-40 run past team. Maybe the Cowboys will rush the ball a little bit more. It will definitely help Dak Prescott. It will help CeeDee Lamb. It will help Turpin, that big offensive signing. Woof. Watch out for that guy. Woof. 1 touchdown in 3 seasons, my man. Woof. Slow it down, baby. But yeah, that is all jokes. Alpha Rob says they traded for the Bills trash Elam at cornerback. I don't understand why they did that. Yes, I know that Travion Diggs is hurt again. I'm not for sure the extent of his injury, but he is injured, right? But that's another great offseason move there. Woof! Blow me out of the water, Dallas Cowboys. Y'all making some selective, aggressive moves, all right. Old Man River says, no. That running back room did not get better. Sorry, Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Dallas Cowboys fans. Sorry, NFC East fans. Sorry, NFL fans. The Dallas Cowboys are still going to be better in the running back room. And Alpha Rob's a simple man. Not a simple plan, but a simple man. He says simply just put no. No. They did not get better. Alpha Rob. I don't know how much clearer we can put it, guys. The Dallas Cowboys did not get better. This is not a re-amped running back room. Well, let's slow it down, Buck. It is re-amped. You got whole brand new faces in there. You got Deuce Vaughn, you got Miles Sanders, and you got Javonte Williams. Man, if this was 2002 and like in college, woof, watch out, baby. Come on, Dallas Cowboys, do better. Javonte Williams, I understand you're all hyped up and excited about your boys. Damn it, boy. It's going to take a hell of a lot more for me to get that excited. Speaking of exciting, the New York Football Giants. The New York Football Giants, they do have the 3rd overall pick as of right now. And in Mel Kiper's Jr.'s latest mock draft, I believe it's 2.0 or 3.0 now, he has Shedeur Sanders projected to go number 3 overall to the New York Football Giants. Guys, the Giants are in need of a quarterback. The Giants want a quarterback. They want Aaron Rodgers. They want Russell Wilson. They just brought in Jameis Winston. They need a quarterback. They want a quarterback, right? Guys, is this a great fit for the New York Giants? Shedeur Sanders to the New York Football Giants, is that a great fit? Now, depending on who you listen to, whether it's Mel Kiper Jr., whether it's other mock draft people out there, people have 2 narratives, 2 stories about Shedeur Sanders. One of it, he is great. He has all the potential in the world. He's the best quarterback in the draft. He is the next coming of John Elway, right? And then on the other side of the spectrum, he's arrogant, he's cocky, he's going to be a bust, he is only in the limelight because of his dad, yada, yada, yada. Guys, this is typical politics 101. It's either your right wing or your left wing. Either you hate Shedeur Sanders or you love Shedeur Sanders. Now, I have to admit, I was on the left side of the aisle about Shedeur Sanders for the last 8 or 9 months. I didn't think he was that good. I thought he was too small. I thought he made bad decisions. I think he just used his athletic ability to get him out of a lot of messes. And I just thought that he did not have the gut, the it factor to make it in the NFL. But being a due diligent guy, being a film guy, I was like, you know what? Let me go back and watch Colorado's tape for the last 2 seasons. Let me go back and actually watch 2 games when he played the Kansas State Wildcats twice, right? Now, me being a Kansas State fan, me being a Kansas State alum, I played for the Kansas State Wildcats. I was like, you know what? Let me take my Wildcat hat off and let me put my film watching hat on. And guys, Shedeur Sanders played behind a horrible line the last 2 seasons. That offensive line for the Colorado Buffaloes was horrible 2 years ago. Last season, 2024, this NCAA college season, the offensive line still got better. And in those 2 seasons behind a horrible offensive line and an average offensive line, he still lit up the stat sheet. He does not turn the ball over. He did have 10 interceptions this season, but he had 37 touchdowns. He makes great choices. 7 of those interceptions were not his fault. They're tipped balls, batted balls, whatever you want to call it, right? But he did have a total of 10 interceptions in 2024. Hell, over his 4-year college career, he just has 27 interceptions and he has 134 touchdowns. His lowest QBR in those 4 seasons was 151.7. excuse me, 151.7. Guys, Shedeur Sanders is a great quarterback. He has a lot of upside, and he could be a damn good quarterback in the NFL. With the right coaching, with the right system, and the proper growth, he can be great in the NFL. Obviously, guys, the New York Football Giants do need a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, Jameis Winston, it doesn't matter. Shedeur Sanders is better than both of those players as of right now. And when you look at the New York Football Giants, guys, they are young, they are hungry, and they're an overlooked team. Malik Neighbors, Robertson, Theo Johnson, which is going to be a stud. I told you guys that last year. He's going to be a stud. Tracy Jr. in the backfield emerged this season. Devin Singletary is still there. Plus a defense that is very, very underrated. Guys, with the addition of Shedeur Sanders and proper development, the New York Giants are a playoff team. I 100% love this draft pick by the New York Giants if they were to go out there and get Shedeur Sanders. I 100% love it. Guys, if they do not draft Shedeur Sanders and they draft an edge rusher, if they draft an offensive lineman, if they draft a specialty player on the defensive side of the ball, and then the New York Giants lose with Aaron Rodgers or Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson or whatever quarterback that they have, Tommy DeVito, right? Whoever the quarterback is, New York Giants fans are going to be calling for everybody's head. Brian Daboll's, Woody Johnson, I forget the general manager's name, Hard Knocks. I see his face. I don't remember Schoen, right? Or Shane or Schoen, whatever. New York Giants fans are going to be pissed off if they don't draft Shedeur Sanders. It makes perfect sense. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Jim says, as long as he's nowhere near Vegas, I don't care. Jim says he does not like Shedeur Sanders, especially for his Las Vegas Raiders. Jim, I feel like Raiders fans are kind of all over the map. Some people love him, John. Some people hate him, Jim. Like I said, there is no like, yes, Shedeur Sanders can be a decent quarterback, right? Or yeah, he needs a little bit of work. It's either you love him or you hate him. There is no like merging of purple, like red and blue to make purple. It is either red or blue. You love him or you hate him. It's just, and that is crazy to me. I've never seen a player so unanimously hated or loved. No like mediocre point there. Alpha Rob says, do you think it's a make or break here for Brian Daboll? Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if they do not draft Shedeur Sanders number 3, Alpha Rob. If they do not draft Shedeur Sanders or a quarterback, I mean, in the draft, whether it's Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or Jackson Dart, if they don't draft one of those 3 quarterbacks and they fail again, that'd be twice they missed out on a quarterback that could potentially change our franchise. Brian Daboll's gone. The general manager, is it Shane? Gone. No question in my mind. Now, there will be a caveat on this. If they do draft Shedeur Sanders and they are a 4-5 win team, as long as they look like a decent football team, he will have a job going into next year because he will have the excuse, rookie quarterback, young team, yada, 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 right? Now, if they're a 4-5 win team and they just look miserable, he's gone, right? So there's definitely caveats, but yes, I definitely think it's a make or break year. Have to show improvement, have to draft a quarterback. If you do not draft a quarterback and the Giants do not make the playoffs or have a winning season, Brian Daboll is 100% done. Jim Powell says it's the 3-ring circus he brings with him. His family beats up the ball boys on the sidelines. See, and I didn't know that. Now, obviously, there is going to be that sideshow, right? There is going to be the Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, whatever, right? However, there have been other players that have brought their sideshows to town. Russell Wilson brought Team 3 down there to Denver. Old, what's his face? Who's the head coach? Who's the head coach there now? Sean Payton kicked that Team 3 out. Will Brian Daboll do the same thing? Will they keep, let's say, team 2 out? Shedeur Sanders' team, you guys are gone. Get out of here. But yes, he definitely does have that circus, have that mindset of, yeah, we're better than you. But guys, what do you think? Should the New York Football Giants draft Shedeur Sanders number 3 overall? That was Mel Kiper's mock draft pick. I think it's number 2. That's where he has him right now. I think that's the highest I've seen Shedeur Sanders at all. So I like it. Actually kind of love it. Actually, I want some more of it. Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens. Put some respect on their name, baby. But Ronnie Stanley is back in the purple and black and gold. Ronnie Stanley said he was never close of leaving the Baltimore Ravens. He was never close to signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was never close to signing of any other team. He says he wanted to, quote, run it back with the best offense in the NFL. Later in that interview, he said the only thing that we really care about here in Baltimore is winning a Super Bowl. So, guys, the question is very, very simple. The thought process is very, very simple. Can the Baltimore Ravens win a Super Bowl in 2025? Let me correct myself because I know people are going to be pissed off. It's 2026. 2025 NFL season, 2026 year, right? Can the Baltimore Ravens win the Super Bowl in 2026? When you look at the Baltimore Ravens, guys, they had the best, not one of the best, not 3, not top 5. They had the best offense in 2024. Their defense was up and down in 2024. Started off extremely slow, gave up a lot of points didn't really quite find their groove, but they found it toward the end of the season. They finished strong, ended up being a top 10 defense in the NFL. So far this offseason, they have added Tyron Wallace and DeAndre Hopkins to the wide receiver room and Jack Hummel at linebacker. They also re-signed Cleveland and Ronnie Stanley to their offensive line. Not huge moves, not needle-changing moves, but on the other hand, they did not have a lot of holes to fill. Let's just be flat out honest. So when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, guys, another year with the Lamar Jackson offense, right? Another year with this defense, another year with the whole team back together. Guys, can the Baltimore Ravens legitimately win a Super Bowl in 2026, 2025 NFL season? Guys, listen. As long as Derrick Henry runs the ball like he did in 2024, 2025, the Baltimore Ravens have a great shot. As long as Lamar Jackson continues to perform at an MVP level and improve his passing game and his football IQ and just his football knowledge and surveying of the field, as long as Lamar Jackson keeps improving like he's doing each and every year, they have a shot. As long as the offensive line stays healthy, they have a shot. As long as the defense performs like they did the last 6-7 weeks of the NFL season, they have a shot. As long as Harbaugh is the coach, they will not win the Super Bowl. As long as John Harbaugh is the coach for the Baltimore Ravens, they will not win the Super Bowl. Whether you want to admit it or not, Coach Harbaugh is the reason why the Baltimore Ravens have not won one Super Bowl in the last, 20 years or whatever it's been. They could have easily have had probably 2, if not 3 Super Bowl appearances, if not 2 Super Bowl wins and rings, if it wasn't for Coach Harbaugh. Guys, the Baltimore Ravens have all the right pieces in place. They have a pretty good receiving core room. Zay Flowers is a pretty good receiver. As long as he can keep his head, they'll be all right. The addition of DeAndre Hopkins has that little veteran leadership in there. Definitely bring the young guys along a little bit faster. Very, very nice. They have a really, really good tight end in Isaiah Likely. They have the second best running back in the NFL in Derrick Henry. This is going to hurt me coming out of my mouth, but they do have a top 10 quarterback in the NFL in Lamar Jackson. Guys, everything is in place for the Baltimore Ravens to win many, many games. Coach Harbaugh is the reason why they will not win. Now, if there was a number 2 reason why they will not win, It's because of the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills match up against the Baltimore Ravens very, very well. They have Lamar Jackson and the Ravens figured out very, very well. They will shut them down in the playoffs yet again. It is what it is. Sorry, Lamar. Sorry, Baltimore Ravens fans. The Buffalo Bills have your number. And if you want to go with number 3, they do have a little bit of rub-down issues. They do have a little bit of happy ending issues. We won't get into that today. But I'm saying those are the 3 reasons why they will not win a Super Bowl in 2026. So, guys, when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, look how they're currently constructed. Look how they are built to potentially win a lot of football games. Will they win the Super Bowl in 2026? Alpha Rob comes and says simply no. Alpha Rob's been a simple man all night long, and I love it. He says simply no. Henry and Jackson won't have a repeat performance on offense that they did in 2024. And Alpha Rob, I would have to say you are right. I mean, obviously, Derrick Henry had a phenomenal year. Derrick Henry is like a pair of racing tires, though. What you guys don't know about racing tires, they are awesome until they're not. Slick racing tires are badass until they're not. There is no right. It is boom, straight down. And I feel that Derrick Henry is kind of right here, and at some point he is going to go down. And I don't think it's going to be a gradual letdown. I think it's going to be now you see me, now you don't. Magic Man, right? Talladega Nights, if you know, you know. It's not shake and bake, it's Magic